So I'm here to tell you about the KC Wizards against Manchester United. In 2006, a sporting club purchased the KC Wizards, following a few successful seasons in the years prior. However, since that takeover, KC was on a bit of a dry spell, with the last 5 years since the takeover resulting in no trophies, no finals, and at best, a fourth place finish in the Western Conference. The fans needed something to cheer for, and the ownership group for KC thought one way to do that would be to organize a friendly with arguably the biggest team in the world at that time, Manchester United. Now, this isn't the first time an MLS side has taken on a team from the Premier League. I recommend you check out our episode on Columbus versus West Ham. However, considering how popular and well known Manchester United are, this was sure to draw a big crowd, and draw a big crowd it did. In the video posted by MLS, Matt Beasler talks about how unusual it was for so many players as they stepped onto the field that day, since they've never played in front of a crowd of so many people before. I have to imagine there was a mix of excitement and nervousness walking out of that tunnel. There were about 63,000 people in attendance for this game, which at the time was the biggest crowd ever for a soccer match in Kansas City. The only downside for the KC players was there was a lot of red in the stands. Not too dissimilar from friendlies today, involving some of Europe's giants. A lot of people that come to see those matches are there for the European team. And considering this might be their only chance to see them play in person, I can't blame them too much. However, the goal for KC out there on the field was to ultimately change the tide and make these fans cheer for their hometown team, and the game started off in the perfect way to accomplish this goal. In just the 11th minute, Davy Arnaud finds himself in behind the defense with only Manchester United's Raphael playing him onside, meaning Arnaud only has to beat keeper Ben Amos in order to put KC up ahead early. Arnaud calmly slots the ball past Amos to give KC the lead. And while there were big cheers from the crowd, I think there was still this feeling of, wow, that was cool, but I still think Manchester United's going to score tons of goals past this team. And it definitely felt like that would be the case because in the 39th minute, Jimmy Conrad slides into the back of Dimitar Berbatov to not only give Manchester United a penalty, but to also get himself sent off with a straight red card in a friendly, by the way. KC now down to 10 men with 50 minutes still left to play. Berbatov steps up and easily scores the pen to the keeper's left to make things level. And I'm sure there was a strong feeling of here comes the rout in the crowd after Manchester United scored and was now up a player as well. However, the rout did not come, as only a minute later, Kai Kamara would head a corner off the crossbar and in to restore the lead for Kansas City. The crowd more and more growing on KC's side as the game has progressed, erupts into cheers after this goal. The job isn't done yet, though. A lot of time left, and KC, reminder, is still down a player. As the game progresses, Man U continue to get their chances, but KC keeps shutting all these chances down. And as KC continues to keep Man U out, the crowd more and more begins to get behind KC and root for them to hold on and see out this victory. Inevitably, KC was able to hold on and take home the win in front of 60,000 plus people, many of which I'm sure became fans of the club from that day forward. When the final whistle blew, there were huge cheers in the stands from their hometown team who took down Manchester United. It was a complete shift in the atmosphere of the game from the beginning to the end, with so many more people rooting for a KC win. Even though Man U wasn't playing their strongest team, this definitely felt like a much needed big win for a team that likely needed a boost.